Hi everybody. Right, I've had some emails from people what's thinking of joining Courier Exchange, or maybe thinking of doing multi-drop, and basically asking who I use for my insurance for my van and what I do about my goods in transit insurance and public liability insurance. Just close window. So I thought, well, I can't tell you about other insurance companies, but what I can tell you is the ones that I use. So I've got it written down on here. So for my van insurance, I use LV is the broker, and it's highway van insurance. And my van insurance, it's a 65 plate van, Luton van, 313 Sprinter. Now bear in mind, I've been driving for years. I'm now 62 years old. I've been driving for God knows how long. But my van insurance is costing me £1,015.57 for 12 months, which I think is pretty good. Now, obviously, it all depends on your age, how long you've been driving, your age of your van. There's all sorts of things come into play with it. Where you park it, so I've got off-road parking at home, which is secure. All sorts comes into it, but that's what I pay, £1,015.57. Now next, I have my goods in transit insurance and my public liability insurance with a separate company. Now this other company now I use for this, and they quote me today, and it's underwritten by Clear Broking. So my goods in transit insurance, it covers me up to £50,000 of cover for goods that's on board, and that costs me £123.41 for 12 months. And then the public liability cover, bear in mind this is for one vehicle and for one, well, I'm assuming it's one man driving it, and the public liability is £72.90 for 12 months, and that's for up to £2 million of cover. There's a great deal. It's not just your goods in transit and your liability, both kind of covered part of your goods on board and to do with your employees, etc, etc, but you'd have to read into that because it's employer liability cover as well. So what I'll say is, with that goods in transit cover, you've £250 excess on that, and you've £250 excess on your liability cover as well. Right, so the thing about this goods in transit, GIT insurance, is that, where is it written now? Have a look now. So this insurance, what the hell, it's warm in here, is for light haulage and courier work, light haulage and courier work, for a vehicle of up to 8.25 tons gross. So if you had a 7.5 tonner, it'll do for that. If you've got a 3.5 ton van, whatever, it's same thing, up to 8.25 tons. Now, this cover, it also specifically covers the conditions of carriage for TNT, FedEx, Parcel Force, DHL, Yodel, UK Mail, Amazon, DPD and Hermes. It specifically covers their carriage of goods, which they, how shall we say, that's the amount of cover what they specifically need if you're doing work for them. So if you can do like CX work, you've got your right cover for that. If you drop onto your multi-drop for likes of any of these companies, it's the right cover for that as well. So that was a bit I wanted to point out more than anything. Obviously there's different terms and conditions, so what you need to do if you spoke to them, probably ask them to send you terms and conditions and what the amount of cover is, what exactly it covers, before you go ahead with it. But I'll put you a link in video, who to contact. That I find I'm going to be using them now for 3-4 years, and I've gone with them every time. It actually got cheaper this year than it was last year. So I'll put you a link on there for that. Now with this link, I've got to say this, but I'm not bothered about it, but if you mention my name and my postcode, they will give me a little bit of kickback off it. I don't know what it amounts to, and I'm not right bothered about it. But if you have a friend what's starting at the same time as you, and one of you gets it first, you can then refer a friend, and then you'll get some knocked off yours. And likewise, if your friend knows somebody else or somebody else, so it's actually bringing costs down for you a little bit. But like I say, you can do it for me. I aren't bothered one way or other, but I can give you the link. You can mention my name, which I'll put on underneath in the description below, and I also have to put my postcode on there so that they know it's me who's done it. So they will give me a little bit of kickback on that, but that's not the real reason why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I use them, and I've used them for a few years, and I find they're very good. And if you read, well, so far for me, reading the conditions and all terms with it perfectly suits me. Now, some goods in transit insurance won't cover for removals. You usually have to have a separate cover for that, and it can be quite expensive. So what my way around it is, I do removals, but not as such. So if someone asks me, will you do as a removal, I'll say yeah, but I won't come at house. I'm not bringing the stuff out of the house. I'll come with my van, you bring it to my van, I load it on my van, I deliver it to your next spot, I get it to back up van, you take it off, you take it in the property. That way it's not a removal, I'm just moving the goods for you. So that's my way around it. So it's same as any other goods, isn't it? If somebody, you load it in the back of your van, you deliver it from A to B. As far as I can see, a removal, you're going into the property, you're doing all the organising for how you're going to move it, any packing and all that sort of thing, and maybe putting some porters on to help do that. But so I don't do that. They have to load it on me, bring it to the back of my van, I put it in my van, I strap it up, put blankets on it, etc, etc, and deliver it to where they're going. And likewise, and in reverse, take the blankets off, unstrap it, etc, take it to the back of the van, put it on tail lift, load it to the floor, and then it's up to them. They can use my sack cart. I also have a cart with 4 wheels on, and other bits and bobs to help them move them, but basically that's my way around it. So yeah, I just thought, well, I've had a few messages, like I say, asking me about what I pay and who I use, etc, etc. So that's what I do. Yeah, I don't know if you watched my previous video. So I do other things. I do my courier work. Some weeks I might go on it and go on it for a full week. But I get a lot of my own work as well. I only have CX as a reserve thing. It's only that, like, I know in a couple of weeks I've got a drop to do down in Greenford in London, and one to do in Dunstable. And then when I'll be off early in the morning, I'll be down at Greenford 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning waiting to get unloaded, and I'll be probably back up at Dunstable by 9 o'clock. So then I've all day to get another load back. So for me, I'm not running Courier Exchange all the time. I never have done. I've been on it since November 2019. What work I have done now, my feedback's disappeared because it only stays there so long, but it's not an issue to me because, like I say, I find mostly my own work. And besides that, I go driving lorries and drive plant, and I do all sorts of stuff for people. I do mechanicking because I repair heavy lorries and heavy plant as well. So it's just another little thing for me, that CX. It's something I'm interested in, and I may at one point actually get going doing it full time, because I love getting out and about. I love going to different places in the country. I love the scenery, what you come across. You get to some fantastic places, and well, that's it basically. You meet some great people, see some fantastic places. Sometimes excuse me, sometimes you can have a pretty hard day, especially with the looting. With lootings, generally everything's got to be, once you get it to the back door, you've got to get it into the van to where it's going, into the front of the van, and sometimes it can be bloody hard. It all depends what you carry. But I suppose it's the same with long wheelbase vans. But there's a small van, generally it's small stuff, it's either lifted in or it's a couple of boxes or whatever. I even wondered about getting a small van at one point. But no, this is a fantastic van. I've had no bother with it. It's coming up for 4 years since I bought it. I also used to run a transit pickup. I've sold that. But no. I hope that helps. Like I say, I'll put the link on below. I wish you all good luck if you're all new starters. I wish you good luck if you've already been at it for a while. It's a good industry to be in, but you've got to work hard at it. Whatever, even if you're doing your own private work, you've got to be sincere with your customers. Do the best job you can possibly do. Like if somebody says to me, I can do with you picking it up at 6 o'clock in the morning and getting it to so and so by dinner time, I would be there at 20 to 6 in the morning. I wouldn't get there at 6, I'd be there at 22. I'm always early. And if I knew it was going to be a tight push from picking up to delivering, then I wouldn't be stopping for a cup of tea out anyway. Make sure I get there and have a cup of tea outside gates before I go in, if I'm early enough. So for me, it's all about getting it there, doing the job as you've stated you're going to do it, and how they want it doing. And that's it really. But no, it's good, it's enjoyable. And I love it, mate. I've driven wagons all over or whatever, but I love being in van as well. I enjoy it. So, right folks, I'll just undo my camera. I'll just show you a couple of nice areas where I've been at the moment. I'm just delivered not far from here. You get some fantastic countryside. Look, big reservoir there, a reservoir there. More windmills over there. So I'm in West Yorkshire at the moment, on the border of South Yorkshire, Barnsley area. So there we are. Inside my cab. I might do a video about my van actually and show what stuff I've got on it at some point. What stuff you need it back, straps, etc. Blah blah blah. And what stuff you need it cab. Things like that. So thanks for watching. Catch you soon. Take care. Bye bye.